We have an old hollow core door that needs a makeover. I wanted something simple and modern. First, I removed the door by placing a scrap wood underneath for support and unscrewing the hinges one by one. Make sure to have someone to hold the door when removing the last hinge to prevent it from tipping over. Once off, I marked the top and front for easy identification. Next, I removed the hinges completely and cleaned both sides with the degreaser. Then I lightly sanded the surface along the grain and wiped off the dust. Now for the fun part. I used these wooden slats meant for wrapping around poles. This piece is 12 inches wide and 8 feet long. I measured, cut the wrap to match the door's height, and glued it to the front with construction adhesive, keeping a 4-inch gap from the hinge side. To secure it, I also pin nailed it in place. Once set, I applied 1 coat of primer, first using a brush for the grooves, then a roller for the surface. For the final color, I chose this beautiful pastel green in satin finish. Same as primer, I used a brush to paint the grooves and then used a foam roller for the rest. I had to apply 3 even coats. I repeated the same steps on the other side of the door and the door frame. Once dry, I installed new hinges and propped the door back up with scrap wood before screwing it into place. Finally, I installed this chrome doorknob. And that's it! A simple upgrade turned an old door into a modern statement piece with just one material and a fresh coat of paint.
I had this nice but not terribly modern or exciting door. It was originally white, and I thought painting it black would have a big impact, but it didn't really. I saw this 1/8 inch hardboard at Home Depot and had an idea. I purchased 2 of the 4x8 panels. I cut the board into strips that were uniform in width. I played around laying these out onto the door to find a pattern that I liked. I liked this angled pattern. I felt like the most difficult part of my door design was going to be properly working with the door handle. I didn't want to end up with half a board where the doorknob needed to go. I positioned the board and then used a Sharpie to draw where my door handle would go. I made sure this lined up with the existing doorknob hole in the door. Once I had this marked, I cut it out using a multi-tool. This thing really works great when you need to make a cut in the center of a piece like I needed to do here. Then I secured the doorknob piece in place. That set the angle for the rest of my pieces, and I used construction adhesive to secure those in place. I also went back with a small pin nailer to further secure them, but really the construction adhesive may have been enough. I just wanted to be sure. I allowed the adhesive to dry overnight. The next morning, using a little handheld saw, I cut around the door, getting rid of the overhanging pieces. I cut right along the door edge so that my boards wouldn't interfere with the proper functioning of the door at all. There were some spots that were a little rough from where they were cut with the saw, and so I gave a little light sanding over these areas just to make sure that the hardboard was smooth. My next step was painting. The paint color I used was called Urbane Bronze by Sherwin-Williams. It's kind of like a dark charcoal gray, and I've used it throughout this condo renovation that I'm working on. After my first coat of paint, I stood the door up, painted a second coat, and let it dry. Once the paint was dry, I added a new modern handle to go with the look of my new modern door. The new handle cost me $22 and fit into place perfectly. I rehung the door and admired my work.
I found this door on Facebook Marketplace, and it was finally time to put it to use. The first step was to remove my existing bathroom door. This was super easy to do by unscrewing the hinges from the door frame. Using an X-Acto knife, I scored the edges of the top door frame before using a hammer and chisel to totally remove the piece along with the 2 decorative corners. This was way easier to do than I thought. This step was necessary as my door frame was totally unlevel. After measuring my new door, I purchased a 1x8 to act as my header. After painting it white to match the existing trim, we leveled it off and bolted it to 4 studs. We needed to add the header because our studs were not equally spaced since this is an older home. If your studs are equally spaced, you can totally skip this step and bolt the track right to the wall. Securing the track was easy as the barn door kit I ordered from Amazon came with everything I needed. We didn't need to find the studs this time since we are using the header as one giant stud. After the track was hung, we drilled 4 holes into the top of the door, attached the hanging brackets, and secured them with the included bolts. The hardest part of this step was finding a drill bit big enough. We hung the door on the track and figured out where we wanted the stoppers positioned. These just slid onto the side of the rail and screwed in with the Allen key that was included in the set. To finish it off, I added some privacy cling film since this is a bathroom after all. This was super easy to use as it bonds to glass with just water. All I had to do was measure, cut, spray with water, and smooth out the bubbles with a credit card. It's super important to make sure that your window is really clean before applying the cling film. I just peeled it off the back, and as you can see, it instantly stuck to the window. My big tip is to use the credit card that you use to smooth out the bubbles for cutting off the excess around the edge. Just butt up the credit card to the edge of the window and drag your knife down the frame. This creates a super clean cut, and you're done. This DIY instantly gave my bathroom character and added a fun antique element to the space. I'm still on the hunt for cool antique handles for the door, but for now, it's easy to grab and push open and close as it is.
If you've ever wondered what the inside of a hollow core door looks like, you're about to find out. This door was in fine shape, but when it opened, it took up all the space in the hallway, and I wanted to convert this closet to a laundry closet with a stackable washer and dryer, and having doors that opened like French doors was going to be much more functional. I removed the door from the hinges and removed all of the door lock hardware. I laid it on a table to get started with my project. The next step was to go ahead and cut the door with the table saw. There was no turning back now. And then I got my first glimpse inside a hollow core door. It was hollow, with wood at the top and bottom and some cardboard in some areas. I sanded down the rough edges left from the table saw and then measured and cut my 1x2s to the height of the door. In order to add 1x2s to the end of the door, I needed something for it to attach to. So I took the wood left over from cutting down my 1x2s to the right height, and I attached these to the inside of the door using a pin nailer, since this uses just a very small nail. Once that was done, I used construction adhesive and some more nails to attach the 1x2s along the edge. Now I've got 2 door halves set up and ready. The problem is, clearly, that I also have big holes in the door due to the old lock and handle, so I had to cover those. I happened to have some leftover beadboard from a recent bathroom project, and so I decided to just turn this over and use the smooth side. You could use a panel or sheet cut down like this, or alternatively, you could use a piece of trim that you like. I cut this to 3.5 inches wide to cover the doorknob hole, and cut it thinner on the other side to cover up the seam where the 1x2 was attached to the door. I secured those in place using construction adhesive and the pin nailer. Once those were in place, I could hang the door and get a good look at everything. The next step was to paint. I added a few coats to make it look uniform, and I did caulk between the trim pieces and the door itself. Finally, I added some long handles, and my door was ready for use. It stays together and tight when closed, but if yours doesn't, you can add a door magnet at the top. I had bought some of these on Amazon, but didn't end up needing them at all on my project. Now my closet is ready for me to add the laundry center, and the doors will allow me to open the closet without the door obstructing the entire hallway. This project could also be used on a pantry door or linen closet door really nicely.
Hold on to those toilet paper tubes. Start by stacking your toilet paper rolls, pull the snow roll up and stuff inside. Grab your scarf and tie it around the front. Take your hat, slide it on the top of the toilet paper rolls, hot glue on some buttons. Start by cutting off the sock top as well as the sock bottom. Stuff your toilet paper tube into the one end of the sock and then tuck the excess, and then put a rubber band over the other piece and cut little edges. Cut your mop and hot glue that. Place the hat on top and then hot glue on a little bead. Start by cutting the toilet paper tube in half. Trace a circle onto the toilet paper tube and then cut the circle out. Fold the toilet paper tube in half and then pull 2 of the edges into the center, then stuff it inside another cylinder. Hot glue on some beads and hot glue a popsicle stick into the bottom.
Pick up a roll of cellophane wrap and then gather some rolls of toilet paper. Place a roll of toilet paper in the center of a piece of cellophane wrap. Pull the corners and sides of the wrap around the top of the roll and tie with some fun ribbon. Paint some black eyes and a mouth, an orange carrot nose, and add some touches of white for highlights. Style your new snowman in your bathroom.
Grab a paper towel tube and cut it in half. Measure some blue adhesive vinyl and place it onto the paper towel tubes and place on the top of your chip can. Hot glue this pink paper onto the chip can. Grab some red vinyl, glue the two blue tubes together, place the tubes on the bottom of the chip can, and hot glue them on either side of the red vinyl on the chip can. Add some stickers for embellishments. Add some Google eyes and cut out some eyebrows and a mustache, and then cut small strips. Glue it to one side of the chip can.
First thing you're going to do is take that long tube that you got and you're going to cut it right in half. One piece needs to be a little bit bigger. Here's our paper towel holder. We're going to just keep cutting tubes until we go all the way up. I went ahead and grabbed some red, some plaid, and also some gray and black. Offset it a little bit. This fabric's going to roll over the tube. Once you get that cut out, run you a bead of hot glue, roll the tube right into place. Run the glue, roll, 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 and there it is. And just start tucking it in. Place it right next to it. Just keep on going. And I use some burlap also in there to intermingle. Put some glue on the back side, and that is going to get pressed onto the fabric. It's time to decorate. I grabbed a little bow that I made, and I'm going to put it onto my Christmas tree.
Take a toilet paper roll and cover it in peanut butter. Make sure the peanut butter is covering the whole outer portion of the roll. Roll the toilet paper roll in birdseed. Take a string and lube it through the middle. Tie the string and let the bird feeder roll sit overnight. Take your roll outside and hang it up. You are going to need multiple paper towel rolls or toilet paper rolls for this craft. You will also need a box. I am opting for the Easter decoration. Peel off any stickers on your box. Place your rolls inside to see how many are needed. Mark a point on your rolls where they will slightly stick out of your box or container. Cut the rolls, line them back up in your box to make sure they are all even. Glue one row together. I found that it was way easier to glue these rolls in a line before fully placing them. Put crafting supplies in the back. This glass tray I got from the dollar store. You are going to need various sized paper towel and toilet paper rolls. Cut off any extra jagged pieces. Take a cut piece and put glue on one side. Place it at the edge of tissue paper or craft paper. Add glue as you go. Fully wrap the roll. Cut off any extra paper and repeat this with all rolls. Cut some trim and put glue on it. Wrap the top of your roll and cut off any extra. Place and glue your rolls together. Put glue on the bottom and press into place.
All right, so we are going to start with our toilet paper roll, and we are going to cut it down to about half this size. And I'm going to kind of start shaving part of this piece away. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be attaching my toilet paper roll. So I'm going to start by taking my glue, and I'm going to take my hot glue and kind of go around to the outside. Now I'm going to use an artist palette knife. So I'm going to take a big heap of this, and we're gonna just start layering it on. Once I've completed this, tackling the top part of this. So I let this dry. I just wanted it to look very cohesive and nice. All right, now that we've sanded this down, we're gonna wipe it off, spray painting it.
Today I'm going to show you how to make a Christmas ornament out of a paper plate. Cut away the rim, so I've cut most of it away. So I'm going to take a Christmas stencil, tacky when dry, gel medium, and I'm just going to smear it through. Now that this is dry, and it is tacky even though it's dry, I'm now going to apply some imitation gold leaf with the tissue paper on the back and just press it down. Okay, keep moving it around, make sure you cover. And anything that's left afterwards, the bits, it's very, very soft, and it just takes away the excess that we don't want. I got this tie-dye kit from the dollar store. I'm going to spray my plate just with a little bit of water, and I just dropped the dye to the dye, in fact to any paint that you put down. I want this to look like jewel tones.
I picked up a variety of papers, a bead of hot glue, right down here, and then wrap it around, and then roll this onto it so that it sticks. If you pick another paper, I'm going to pick this blue sparkly, trace a circle. So if you're working with a normal paper towel roll, there's my blue circle. I'm going to cut halfway in and roll it to whatever I want and put a little bead of hot glue right on the top edge. Just pop your little cap right on there. Put my hot glue down and then I'm going to put it inside. I'm going to take 2 pieces of dry floral foam that I've cut down and I'm just going to put this right over the top. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I have a small piece of red, white, and blue garland. My firecrackers in, and this is going to be my tallest one. Again, you want to make sure you put that seam in the back. I'm going to go ahead with some of my red, white, and blue flowers. And now I got these fun little guys and add one right here. A red one that I'll put right here in the middle. So I'm going to cut that right back in here.
We're going to start by taking our paper cup, and you want to put a line of hot glue right around the bottom, and we want to cover up that bottom lip of the cup. And I want to take a pair of scissors and I want to make 7 cuts. I want to put one more layer of twine around the bottom. Take my strips and bend them down, and you want to just keep going around, keeping those tabs down for now. So I'm going to trim them off again. It'll just make it easier to keep working. I'm just adding a little dab right there, and I'm going to put my twine right into that glue and try and cut those pieces as close down to your twine, another piece of twine around there. Cover my piece of wire with my twine as well. And we want to go ahead and put it onto our basket.
To start this project, I ordered 2 of these hanging baskets. I want to add a piece of felt. Next, I want to attach the baskets together. I'm going to add a couple of zip ties. I want to start with some greenery that's going to fill up the whole orb. With the basket all covered, it's time to use up some of those Christmas balls I have. Next, I want to add some sprigs of icy greenery, some berries, and even some pine cones. I've grabbed some white craft paint, and I want to use this to start adding faux snow all over the greenery and ornaments.
Head to your local salvage, vintage, or thrift store and pick up some white glass globes and thoroughly clean the outside. Crack open a bottle of decoupage glue and thickly brush the glue all over the glass globe. Hold the glass globe over a large bowl and sprinkle ground glass glitter over the entire globe. Gently press and pat the glass glitter onto the decoupage globe and then shake off the excess into the bowl. You will want to spray the globe with a clear spray adhesive. Take a string of twinkle lights and stuff them inside the glass globe.
$2.50 for this rubber ball, but I've got to use glue to hold the first ball to the base. This is construction adhesive. The next step is to grab some expanding foam. What we got to do is go around the base with the expanding foam. Once it's held down, go up and down the sides and all around. We have to get a black ornament, take the top off. We're going to put that in place while this foam is still sticky. Now it's time for the second layer. Foam on that, it's time to go to a third one. Always put a layer of the expanding foam down between the two because it's so sticky, it's going to hold it in place. We got to make the eyes, mouth, and the nose. And then what we're going to do is put it in place. I cut out this wood round, took a planter, glued it in place. Let's go ahead and put it in place.
Begin with a Dollar Tree square wreath form. You will take some wire cutters and cut through the 3 wires at one corner. Then go to the opposite corner and cut through those 3 wires. Grab a Dollar Tree pool noodle and slide it into the curved part of your remaining frame. Use a sharp knife to trim the pool noodle to fit within the frame. You're going to use pipe cleaners to secure the pool noodle to the frame. Use 2 evergreen garlands to wrap around the frame and the pool noodle to cover up both of them. Take a Dollar Tree white Christmas tree, fluff the tree, and lay it along one side of your frame on top of the green garland. Using white pipe cleaners, wrap them around the tree and the pool noodle and frame. Now we get to decorate. I used silver ornaments from Dollar Tree and some silver branches. Now we have to cover up those pool noodle ends. Now it's time to hang them and display them. I used 1 command hook on each side just above my doorway entrance.
Start by mixing together 1 cup of Epsom salt plus 1 tablespoon of clear or white glitter. Apply a thin layer of Mod Podge onto each glass vase and then sprinkle some of the fake snow on top. Continue this process around each vase. Showcase this adorable display with some battery-operated tea light candles and some string lights.
I picked up 3 of these bouncy balls from Dollar Tree. I'm going to start by painting these. Your best bet is going to be using a chalk paint and just apply a really thin coat. The paint does not have to be perfect. Now I grabbed 2 paint sticks. I'm just going to hot glue these together to make one long one. Now I'm taking each of those painted bouncy balls and I'm going to attach them to the paint sticks. I am using Snow Tex. This is a really cool textured medium. With everything dry, I can start decorating. So I've just got some little black stones. I wanted to create a little carrot for a nose. So I used some orange polymer clay and just baked this for about 10 minutes so it becomes nice and firm. I am using a big flower pot. I'm going to use some heavy stones to help keep it in place. Now I want to add some decorations.
First, we're going to need a shower rod. We got to make sure it's expandable. Put it in about chest level. Grab some garland ties. We're going to start with some garland, and we're going to use those ties to hold it in place. And once you get to the middle, if you need more, use that garland tie and start and end a new one right there. Once you get that wrapped up, we're going to take some bigger garland. We're going to let it hang over a little bit. Using another garland tie, we're going to tie that down and hold it in place. This is what's going to give us some volume. Now we're going to grab some fairy lights. We want to put these on before we add any other decorations. Next, we're going to grab some little cherries or beads that go on the end, and we're going to wrap those up also. Let's take some ornaments and some pipe cleaner, and we're going to put those ornaments right through and put it in the middle. We're going to put these on and twist tie them so they don't move around. Now it's time to add some poinsettias and some ribbons. Put those anywhere you want. Once I get that secured, now it's time to loosen it, and then we're going to raise it up into place. It's time to head to Dollar Tree and grab some of these inexpensive foam boards. First thing I gotta do is put all of the foam up against the window. I did a silhouette with a projector, just outline all of it right around the edges. Place some cardboard under the foam board, and you can use an X-Acto knife to cut through. We're gonna put these silhouettes right up against the window. I'm gonna use some white tape for this. Take some black or royal blue and paint the back side of your silhouettes. Take those lights, these are 20-foot strands, and place it all up in the back of the silhouettes. The next thing we got to do is put another layer on.
Grab a pool noodle from your dollar store and cut it with a serrated knife. You will also need a cheap broom with a wood handle. Carefully saw the broom handle. Take this piece of broom handle and push it into the center of your cut pool noodle. Choose your favorite color palette of shatterproof Christmas ornaments. With a hot glue gun, start to glue the larger ornaments to the side of the pool noodle and around its perimeter. Apply glue to the ornaments and not directly onto the pool noodle, as the noodle will melt from the direct heat. Cut smaller pieces from the Christmas picks and glue them into spaces between the ornaments.
The first thing you need to do for this project is to attach a lot of command hooks. I also used these command cord bundlers. My garlands have a loop on the end. I began hanging one vertically and used the cord bundlers to keep it attached close to the wall. Next, I used a different hook and used a number of the command hooks and cord bundlers to attach the second garland across the top horizontally. The garlands are up, and it's time to tie a big, beautiful red velvet bow. I attached my bow with a pipe cleaner to the corner where all of the garlands meet. The streamers can then be tucked right into the garlands. I picked up these oversized red jingle bells at Michael's and used a pipe cleaner to attach them securely.
Started by driving to Home Depot to get my supplies. I grabbed a roll of sprinkler line. I brought the pipe home and I unrolled the pipe onto my yard as straight as I could get it. Next, we measured out 20 feet of pipe. We cut the pipe at 20 feet, and then we repeated this process 3 times. Here are all 3 of the cut pipes.
I'm gonna take these brooms from the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna remove the handle from the broom.
Here are all the brooms, and I needed 6 of them for this project.
So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna map out where I want each of the archways to go.
Next, I'm going to place the stake in the ground, and I'm going to hammer it into the ground. And I'm just using a rubber mallet to pound them into the ground. The next thing I'm going to do is slide the pipe onto the pole. And then I'm going to do this to the other side as well.
So you can see how easy that was, just putting the archways up. So stake and arch, super easy, anyone can do it. Now it's time to add the lights.
So I started by laying an extension rod along their rocks, and it will come out at the bottom.
Now you can use any lights that you want. I'm going to start with some white lights. Depending upon what occasion you're doing, you can create different looks with these. So like all white might be great for a wedding, and you know, you've got your holidays, you've got graduation, you've got different things of the year that you could do this concept for.
So the first arch is all wrapped, and we're going to talk about the plug on the bottom.
And so we're at the bottom, and we're going to plug it in, but we're wrapping the excess around so that we don't have as much dead space. So we're going to pull the line straight. And then we're gonna go over here and wrap it around the base of the next one so that it stays into place. Now we're gonna continue winding up the next pole, and I'll show you what it looks like as I finish looping all of these lights on the arches. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull it back to this other arch.
The first thing I'm going to do is take my pool noodle, and we're obviously going to take the sticker off, and then I'm going to take my vinyl coated clothesline wire and push it all the way through my pool noodle. Pull it over and make a loop, and I'm just going to take a piece of duct tape and I'm just going to wrap this around and just wrap that right around there. I'm going to take a heavy duty piece of floral wire and bend it over. Take a little piece of that duct tape, tape that loop over, and I'm going to take a screwdriver and just push a hole right through it. Take this needle and pull it into the hole that I've made. Take my dollar store garland through the eye of that needle and bend it over really tightly, and then pull it right through the hole. There we go. I'm gonna push my loop down in there and just feed the end of that. And now all I'm gonna do is take my garland and wrap it around. When we get to the other end, we're gonna do the same thing that we did at the top end. I have a glue gun. Make sure it's on low temp, and we're going to take some ribbon and wrap it right around the pool noodle. You wanna take some hot glue around the top of your ornaments. Take some floral wire, thread 3 of these dollar store ornaments, and turn it upside down and put these underneath. And I'm going to wrap my floral wire around my pool noodle and then wrap this back around through my ornaments and twist it one more time. I always tuck the ends of the wire in. I have a command hook attached up here at the top of my door, and I'm going to take this little loop and hang that right on that loop. So here you can see how that pool noodle at the bottom is going to hold this up. I'm going to use one more command hook, and I'm going to hook it right up here. So the last thing I need to do is add a small bow right here.
Let's create some Christmas decor using ornament balls and pool noodles. Start by connecting the ends of the pool noodles using duct tape. Now, connect the other ends to create a complete circle with the pool noodles. Next, create a hanger. Start gluing the ornament balls to the outer perimeter of the pool noodle circle. Here is a tip to consider. Don't put the glue directly on the pool noodle because the pool noodle will melt. Instead, put the glue on the ornament and let it cool for just a couple of seconds before attaching the ornament to the outside of the pool noodle. As you add ornaments and continue around the circle, you're going to want to put a little bit of glue in between the ornaments. Once most of the pool noodle surface is covered, start to glue smaller sized ornaments to fill in the gaps. You can take it one step further and glue small picks of greenery or other Christmas picks to fill in the gaps.